So today's video is a little bit different than my usual weekly videos. I'm finally outside of the house and I'm here with my grand puppy Charlie, and I wanted to talk to you about some things that have been on my mind this week. So this week I've been thinking about how life is really so full of contradictions. Now that the country is finally starting to open up little bit by little, I just assumed that people would start to feel more relaxed, would be more calm, things would be a little bit easier to get through. And instead, I'm finding almost the opposite. As the restrictions are loosening, there's more angst, more worry, more thinking about what is the right thing to do. The fact that we're loosening up and opening up doesn't necessarily make us feel better. In fact, it can actually make us feel more anxious and more stressed. So what can we do to relieve that stress? Well, I think the thing to keep in mind is that that stress is a function of unpredictability and a lack of control and a lack of information. There really is no good, solid information we can base all of our decisions now on. There are just some general guidelines that we need to consider. So once we recognize that we're feeling more stressed because of this lack of guidance and lack of information, then we need to think about responding to our stress. Of course, the basic things we need to do are take care of our bodies. We need to eat regularly. We need to sleep regularly. We even need to socialize and be with friends, even though it's more complicated to do that right now. But there are also some things besides that we need to consider. The CDC, the WHO, the Allegheny Health Department give us some general guidelines for how we're supposed to behave under this new phase, the green phase. But it still requires a lot of individual discretion and individual decision making. So how do we make those decisions? Well, the first thing to keep in mind is that just because the people that you see are making a certain set of decisions doesn't mean that those are the decisions that are right for you. We all need to create our own set of decisions, our own guiding principles that we can follow in different kinds of situations. So those guiding principles mean things like, when should I wear a mask? What about getting together with friends? Should I go to a restaurant? Is it safe to do that? A lot of these things there are no clear answers for, but each of us needs to decide how we're going to handle those situations. And if you try to decide it on a case-to-case basis, every hour, every day, you're going to find that your stress level actually goes up. So, of course, you can always change your guidelines as new information comes in, as we learn more information about the virus and what's safe and what's happening here in our community. Remember, COVID-19 is still a very dangerous virus, so we do need to be safe, we do need to be careful, but we also need to take care of ourselves emotionally as well as physically.